Welcome back to another episode of Believe It, Achieve It. I'm your host, June Angelides. Today, I am so excited to have with me Nush Cope. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello! I keep forgetting that people can see us both. Like, usually, like, when it's a podcast or something, it's just your voice. So I'm not used to, like, seeing people as well.
Do you know what? Initially, it was meant to be just like a regular podcast, but I was like, do you know what? We're in lockdown and I need an excuse to dress up. You know, I said to you, I'm going to get dressed up because I need to. This is like my social life, Nush. This is what it's come to. Like,
right.
Virtual gatherings. And I'm like, the show is like giving me life. It's an excuse to wear cool clothing. How are you coping with this virtual world?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's interesting. I feel like I know so many more people. Like, I've met so many more people virtually this year than I like even meet in real life.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know them, but I've never met them, and it's really weird. But yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. I feel like everyone's just going with the flow and trying to make it work for them.
Yes.
In whatever way that kind of looks like. So yeah, you got to get creative, I guess, and do something different to make it work.
Absolutely. And I guess it's another thing. What I really love about you, you wear so many hats. You're a presenter, host, podcaster, and now you're a mama to Shaka.
Yay.
I love that you're documenting that through your YouTube show. Did that come about as a result of lockdown, or when did you have the idea that you were going to start capturing the journey?
It actually came in before the whole like Corona thing popped up and lockdown. It kind of just happened to be quite good timing. When I found out I was pregnant last year in November, so like a year ago now, I was kind of like, can I swear on this? Am I allowed to swear?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Okay, gret. I was like, oh shit. What now? Obviously I'm 26 and I thought I had a few more years before I was going to be locked down into motherhood. So I didn't expect it, and I was just a little bit worried about how I was going to make it work with my job and still manage to chase my dreams, like, as well as being a mum, because they say you can't really have it all as a woman. And so I thought, right, okay, I'm going to document this experience, mainly because when I had a really, really shit first trimester. I felt awful, and when I went online to find people to relate to, I couldn't really find anyone. It was just all these kind of like American and Australian bloggers being like, oh my god, I love being pregnant, look at my glow. And
so not the case.
Right, and I was like, that's not how I'm feeling, and it just made me feel more shit about myself. So I was like, right, you know what, I'm going to document this and you know, tell it how it is. And so that's how the YouTube channel came about. And then it just happened to kind of go into lockdown, which was quite good because it just meant that I could focus on that and you know, put out more content and people could follow the journey. So that's how it started, really. And I'm still trying to continue now, but with a baby, as you know, it's just a freaking nightmare.
Oh my god, it's
trying
impossible
to get anything done.
But you're doing something with the BBC as well. I saw that, and I think that is so important, like telling it as it is now as a mom, like in a modern way, because I think there's all this old content out there and it's just not very relatable.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess the BBC stuff's kind of just like an extension, which is amazing, because I did want to document like what new motherhood was like, and like that kind of period that you don't really hear because everyone's so exhausted and like so in their own like world of being a new parent that you don't have any energy to do anything else. So it's quite rare to hear like from it firsthand. And you know, I shot that series when I like just 6 weeks after I gave birth, so it was really intense. And I mean, luckily the producer was a new mum as well. Her baby boy was like a month older than Shaka, so we would be like on Zoom. She'd be like directing me on Zoom, and she'd be like, "Oh, wait 1 minute, I've just got to feed him." And I was like, "Okay, great, I'll do the same." Like, and you know, it's like it was so cool and just like so easygoing. And I don't think if I had like done that with a man, I don't think it would have been able to like be so relatable. But she totally got me, which was amazing. And it's just it's planned out really organically, so I was happy.
And I guess that's the thing, you know, and it goes back to role models. Like you were able to see her do that in your career so far. Have you come across many mothers in the business who've actually been very open about their journeys and how they've done it?
No, like none. Like the executive producer like asked me, who's like, "Oh, do you have someone like, you know, who you'd like to work with producer wise, like, you know, I want you to feel comfortable." And I was like, well, my only criteria that I really want for this is for them to be ideally a mother, but if not a mother, at least a woman, so that they can relate to me. But the problem is I couldn't think of any. Like I haven't worked with any female producers, let alone mums. They've all just been male. So it is I know there are female producers out there, but it is generally a very male dominated like industry. And so luckily he knew someone who was perfect, but otherwise like I was completely stumped because it's just so rare to find.
Wow. And do you think that in the instances where they do have kids, do they sort of keep it under wraps and don't really talk about it maybe? Because I found that when I was looking at venture capital, not many people were showcasing their motherhood. It was all sort of this very manly world, and all the women I felt were sort of not really talking about that side of things and just keeping it strictly business. And I'm like, I want to be myself. I want to be 100% authentic and come into this showing people that you can have both.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my brand now. I think that's what people are sort of seeing, so I can't really hide it myself. But I mean, I wouldn't be able to say, because obviously this year, like, we haven't been in a place where I can go back to work, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if I've noticed that, like, as a mum. But yeah, I think there is this like secret mum club that when you become a mum, it's like a thing that then you can relate to other mums and you have stuff to talk about it. And it's kind of like the secret mum club that you're not involved with before you have kids. And so I think in the workplace that is still the case. I think amongst women you still talk and it's still like a thing about being a mum or whatever, but maybe in like the wider picture it's not quite as known because you don't want it to like jeopardize your work or whatever.
So true. Absolutely. I'm just noticing that you're looking very nice and relaxed. Are you somewhere nice and warm? Where are you where are you locking down?
Yeah, I'm with my parents in Portugal at the moment. Which is really nice. Yeah, because they moved out last year, and so they weren't really around that much when Shaka was born, so I haven't had like much help. But now that I'm here and I have like full-time babysitters, it's really nice.
It is the dream.
Yeah, it's the dream. Yeah, we're very lucky.
Is that helpful as well, so that you can actually carry on working while you've got some help?
Yeah, no, it's really helpful. But I just feel like, you know, even though I've got help now, it still doesn't feel any easier. Like I thought once I'd be here and I had help, like it feels so much easier, but it's just not. Like there's still a million things to do. Like still trying to like manage, like when you have a child, like no matter where you are in the world, no matter what country, what environment, there's still a million things to do. Like I've still got admin, I've still got like work, I've still got things to like sort out. It's crazy, like it never stops.
This is it. So true. I mean, did you always know that you wanted to be in this world? Has that always been the dream?
No, actually I didn't really know that I wanted to get into the media until a bit later in like when was it? I didn't even know what I wanted to do when I left college at 18. I was just sort of I was going to go to uni, and then I realized that actually I wasn't passionate about what I had applied for, so I decided not to do that, and instead I decided I wanted to be Samantha Jones from Sex and the City and be this like fabulous PR woman.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, that's me,
I'm on it.
Oh my god.
So then I went into, I did an apprenticeship in PR and public relations, and it turned out to be nothing like Samantha Jones and Sex and the City, and I was like, fuck this. Like I'm literally sitting, like, to be fair, I went into like healthcare comms, so it wasn't exactly glamorous.
Yeah, not the same.
And I was like stuck at a desk like 9 to 5 days a week, and I was like, this is not for me. One day I was watching Reggie Yates's documentaries, and I was like, do you know what, like I could do that. Like, I would love to present programs and be a TV presenter. Like, I can do that. I love talking to people. And so I quit my job and just kind of decided to chase my dreams. I had no idea how to go for it, but I started out in production, kind of learning what happened behind the camera. Did that for a while, and then eventually started like hosting open mic nights. Did a lot of like free work, a lot. One second.
Yeah.
A lot of work for free. Then I started working for a channel called The Wall of Comedy, which kind of helped build my following, and then yeah, kind of one step led to the next, and then I ended up with a baby.
And a lot of people assume that you have to be really confident to work in television. Would you describe yourself as just a naturally confident person, or is that something that you've had to work at? Because I know people often say that, you know.
I think you definitely do have to be confident to do this job, because it's a lot about self-belief. Like, if you don't genuinely believe that you can do it, you're screwed. Like, you're not going to get anywhere. Like, you have to be your number one fan, and if you aren't, then you're just like not, it's just not going to work out. But I've never always been confident. I didn't always think I could do it in the beginning, but I've worked really, really hard on it. And it was the people you surround yourself with, I think, are the ones that can help build up your confidence. And for me, it was the guys who started The Wall of Comedy, they're actors now, Javan and Percy, and they believed in me more than I believed in myself. And they gave me so many opportunities that really helped build my confidence and like help me network, speaking to people. It's all about like who you know. And so that, it was all about building the confidence. And then when I got to a place of confidence and I felt really good about myself and my career, I got pregnant and lost all my confidence. I was like, oh my God, I literally, like, my hormones were just going mad. So then I was like, right, I don't feel confident, I don't feel amazing, like I've lost it, I've lost my skill. And so then again, so since the beginning of the year, I've had kind of started on this journey again of building up my self-confidence, because at the beginning I was just screwed. I was like, no, can't do it anymore.
And would you say that, like, now, is it friends, is it people you've worked with that are helping to boost you back up again? What's that process been like? Are you working with a coach?
I have thought about getting a mentor, but because I'm not really sure which direction this has taken me in yet. Like, after I've had a baby, like, it's like the content that I'm producing is very different to what I was doing before, so I'm going in a slightly different direction. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out what that looks like, and what people want from me, and how I can help inspire and educate women through my motherhood journey. So I think I'm just sort of finding my feet. Plus, Shaka's only 4 months old, so I'm not trying to like do too much work just yet. But I'd say in terms of like, my confidence is definitely getting back to where it was. I think the BBC thing helped, and then also my little boy, like, that really helps with your confidence, because like my body did this incredible thing. Like, I managed to have this incredible home birth, and he was here and he was healthy.
Girl,
and so,
do you know what? I saw that video. I rate you. I was like, bring the epidural, bring it. Touch the pain.
I know.
Honestly.
I'm crazy.
No, you're a legend. Oh my God. It's not easy, but you did that, and you should be so proud of yourself. And he should be so proud. Do you know what I love? That he can watch all this back and see, look, my mom is cool. She did that.
Yeah, true. I hope so. You always think that, like, you're going to be a cool mom, and then they never think you're a cool mom. So I don't know how that will.
He'll be like, she's awesome.
I hope so, after what I went through. But yeah, I guess, yes, as a woman, like, seeing what your body can do and what it can produce, like, gives you a massive amount of confidence. And then also just having him makes me, like, really motivates me to keep going, and makes me realize that I can do it. If I can do that, I can kind of do anything. So that really has helped my confidence, for sure.
So true. And it's so funny, like, some of my biggest career changes have been after having a baby. So after having Ivy was 2 months old when I started Mums in Tech, but it really shifted something in me. It was the first time I was confident in my life. The whole time I'd been like really nervous, that girl in the room who would never speak up, and something just shifted, and I said, oh my God, it's now or never. What am I waiting for to do the things that scare me? Like, why? What's holding me back? Who am I waiting for to give me permission? So I was like, screw it. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do it now. because when, if not now, when?
Exactly.
And I think I'm so glad I did it. People thought I was crazy at the time when I gave up my job to follow my dreams. And I think what you're doing is the best thing. Use this time to sort of reevaluate and just do that thing that really scares you, that you really want to go for.
Yeah, 100%. I'm here for it.
Love it, love it. You have interviewed some massive personalities: 50 Cent, The Rock. Oh my God, Idris Elba. What do you have a highlight? And I was also going to ask you, do you find that sort of each of those interviews, did it make it easier to get the next one, because they're all huge stars?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the thing is, nowadays it's an interesting thing. It's not really like one leads to the other nowadays. It's more like how many followers and subscribers do you have, makes kind of you more relevant. And because I was working for the Wall of Comedy, and they have all that following, they kind of, they're all these movie commissioners or public publicists, they all like always like dive at them to come for interviews. So it was more that I was attached to the channel more so than like my individual interviews. But yeah, I mean, they were all incredible, and I mean, I was shitting myself most of the time. I flew to New York to do 50 Cent. I flew to LA to do freaking The Rock. Like, I was in Universal Studios. I've only been doing this job for like a year or two, and I was just like, what am I felt like I had serious imposter syndrome. But then, once you do it and you have fun with it, it's fine at the end of the day, and these people are totally normal.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole experience, really, I can't really put it down to one particular highlight. It was just kind of having that independence, and like, once you do it, having the moment of like, okay, yeah, I can do it, and and it's going all right. So
true. I love what you said, that they are normal people. I think we put it in our heads, we give them that celebrity status, and then we make it such an unattainable thing to speak to them.
Yeah.
The same way, even in our industry, there's some tech entrepreneurs that, you look at and you think, oh, I could never talk to like Jack Dorsey or any of these people, but they're normal. Slide into their DMs. And I think, did you do that with Reggie? Did you
DM? Yeah, I did.
I feel like I read that somewhere.
Yeah, I did actually. I forgot about that. I DM'd him when I first wanted to get into presenting, and he replied to me, and he gave me some really good advice. And he was just like, he said, use the internet to your advantage, build your platform. And so that's what I did. And a few years later, I popped up, and he started following me from my work. And then he like mentored me a little bit, and we used to like meet up and chat and stuff. So it's definitely worth reaching out to people as well. Like the least that, the worst thing that can happen, that they can say no, or they don't reply, so
True.
It's worth reaching out to people who inspire you, for sure.
Absolutely. One day I hope Oprah will reply to my DM.
Yeah, put it out there. Yes, manifest
universe.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you divide your time? Because obviously you work on so many different things. How do you split it now?
I'd love to be able to give you like a really like organized, like, right, Monday I do this, Tuesday I do this, from 9 to 5 I do this, and then, but you know what, after having a kid, it's just all up in the air. Like, everything is everywhere. Like, I just fit in what I can, where I can. Like, I'll be doing some filming when Shaka's napping, and then when his dad's got him, I'll be, I don't know, shooting some content, and then I'll be editing something when he's asleep at night, or like I'll get up extra early to do a podcast. I literally, whenever I can, I'm just like getting whatever I can in. It's like, I'd love to give you an answer, but I don't have one. It's just whenever.
and the podcast, how is that going? Cheap Cats, which I love.
It's really good. I love it. Like what you said at the beginning, like, it's kind of the most social aspect of my week, getting to speak to the girls, and like we record like once or twice a week, and it's really nice to kind of just chat shit and like have some girl time. I managed to, we're recording remotely, and we've been like doing so all year, so hopefully it's kind of giving people some entertainment through lockdown as well, because we talk about everything like relationships, sex, dating.
I love that. Is there any topic that is off limits? I think you said there is no topic, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just we talk. Yeah, the kind of main premise is like we help people with their relationship dilemmas. So they'll write in with their like problems and their like situationships, and we kind of give advice, even though we're not experts. We just sort of talk from our experience, talk about relationships, and like expose the fuck boys of the world. But yeah, it's really good fun.
Love it. Where did you meet your co-host? How long have you?
What was it? Oops, this has gone off again. So I did a podcast with these group of women a few years ago, and one of them was Rome's sister. So I do the Cheap Chat with two other girls, Rome and Carlotta. Rome, who's the host, I did a podcast with her sister, and her sister recommended me to Rome because they were looking for a third person because they've been friends for like over 10 years. So and then when we met, we just kind of like hit it off, and we've been friends ever since. So it's been going for like a year and a half now. Wow. We're on season 4, so it's going really well.
That is brilliant. And how many episodes do you tend to have per season?
It varies. Like, we just keep going. I think to get more and more every season because we just get so into it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And what is like the big dream for you? Career, like what's in the pipeline for next year, and what are you hoping?
It's funny because it changes every year. Like if you had asked me a year ago, it would have been completely different to 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like before I was thinking I'd love to do travel documentaries, and then I kind of did a similar sort of thing, and I was like, well, I'm not sure. And then I kind of, as my career evolves, I'm doing more things of the things I thought I'd want to do, and actually realize it's not like quite making me happy. It's not my own goal. Last year, I think I said that I'd love to be the cross between like Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah and have my own show and like have like a chat show and stuff. But then actually now that I've had a child, my priorities have completely changed, and like the people who I really want to like reach out to have changed. And so I'm still figuring it out now. I wouldn't be able to tell you yet. I'm kind of in this place of limbo. I just know that the people I want to my main audience who I want to speak out to, is women. Like for me, it's all about getting women to support women, to empower each other, to talk about things, and like I'm hoping to kind of do that through motherhood, and we'll just see where it takes me. I think I'm much more now about living in the present and enjoying my family and my relationships, and not worrying too much about what the future holds and where I want to be. I know it's important to manifest and like have visions and stuff for yourself, but I'm really happy like where what I've got to, and I think you do have to reevaluate when you have a family, because what is important changes. So
absolutely. And I guess it feels like you're also the kind of person that believes in making your own luck. Is that be fair to say?
Yeah, for sure. I basically spoke my baby into existence.
Love it.
And I made a Pinterest board like 5 or 6 years ago of my dream man, and I basically got it.
No way. No, seriously. Why did anyone tell me about this?
I know. Tip of the day.
I love that. You know what? When I was little, it was like Prince Charming. This is what Disney does to us. They like they tell us.
There's no such thing as the perfect man. Let me just tell you that. But it can come close if you put it on the Pinterest board.
I'm going to be telling all my friends.
Yeah.
All my single friends, Pinterest. What motivates you to get out of bed? What's your pep talk for Nush?
I haven't got a choice now. I have a newborn. Like that's the realness of it. Like I got no motivation. I got no choice. I just have to get up whether I like it or not. But before I had a child, what motivated me was myself, actually. Like I loved, I think even more so than the career and what I was doing, I love putting goals in place for myself and then achieving those goals and like seeing the progression, and just knowing and seeing myself grow, my confidence, and kind of then like taking a step back and looking like from where I've come from, and just kind of seeing that, and so that just really motivates me to keep going, to know that if I set my mind to something and if I really believe in myself, I can do it. So yeah, that, and also the fact that I need to pay my rent. So
yeah.
Ain't really got a choice either there.
I know. Do you know what? Again, someone, this is a lady called Tiwa who runs Confidence and Killing It, and she has this yearly tracker of your wins. And I saw it recently. I'm like, gosh, I think this year more than ever, we all need to have almost like a gratitude list of the little wins, just little things every day, appreciating like us getting from one day to the next, and just
I totally
little
agree.
things make us smile every day. It doesn't even have to be this massive thing, but just
for sure,
achieving small things every day, family being well. And I think 2020 is a year that we're all going to really like remember, and hoping next year will be a little bit different, travel a bit more.
Yeah, it makes you really like, this year's really made you like kind of realize what's important and what you want in life when you can't do certain things that you love.
So true. I do miss a party though.
Tell me about it. Even if there wasn't a lockdown, I still don't think I'd be able to party with a bunch.
Bring the party to the house.
Yeah, true.
Over here. Is there anything that scares you?
I keep having daymares about my child, like,
oh
no, like, I don't know, like bad stuff happening, and I just go, that's really stressful. So that's my current issue, but scares me. My main, like, the one thing I'm terrified of in life is getting to old age when I'm like 70 or 80 years old and looking back on my life and regretting things. For me, regret, like, I don't want to have any regrets of not doing things. So I just, for me, it's that I'm terrified of that. So I've just everything I want to do, I just have to do it, otherwise I'm gonna regret it, and I'm terrified of that. So that's the main one.
I absolutely love that. And when things get a little bit scary, when you've got this big project that's put in front of you, do you have like a go-to pep talk for yourself? Are you ever inclined to say no, or do you say yes straight away?
Not yet. In the past few years, I have been quite a yes person, but now that I'm a mom, I'm really kind of seeing I need to prioritize and like know that, because my me time is so valuable, that I need to have that me time to practice self-love and do what I like doing so that I can still feel like myself. And so that's gonna require me start saying no to things that aren't feeding my soul and aren't feeding my career, that aren't feeding my pocket. So I need to be a little bit more fussy now that I have another priority, for sure.
That is so important. And I think, again, as women, and nice women who want to help, who again want to help other women, it's sometimes really hard to say no. I struggle with that. I want to help everyone. I want to be, I'm a people pleaser. Again, I want people to be happy, but sometimes you do that to your own detriment.
Totally.
Take on too much. I want to mentor the world if I can, but there's just not enough hours in the day. If I do that, less time for the kids, less time for me. Got a headache at the end of the day, no time to watch Netflix, which I love.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you do to unwind? What's your thing?
I mean, any normal person's, average person's thing. I'm currently making my way through Grey's Anatomy, because
love Grey's.
I started it in because like when series have so many seasons that it's just overwhelming and you never get around to it. Like, I've never had time for it, but because obviously lockdown this year, I was like, right, this is the time I have time to start, and I'm only on like season 7, so I'm like halfway through all the bloody seasons.
It gets really good. It gets good.
But so that, and I mean, just Netflix, and I love putting on candles and like just like either like doing my nails or like, I don't know, reading, I don't know, even menial stuff, like just being on my phone and just like having a browse and stuff. Like, I just any like things that I didn't appreciate before enough, like before I had a child, that I just thought were just like whatever. Now I'm like, like even just having a long shower, I'm like, this is amazing.
The dream.
And I never appreciated it before.
I don't joke with my bath these days. Before I was like, that's not for me, but oh my goodness, Epsom salts, bring it on.
Right.
And my audiobook and Sometimes I get my red table talk on, catch up with Jada.
Yes. Oh, amazing. Oh, you're making me want a bath.
Do it. It's
Need
the way
that.
forward. So this is the quick fire round for you. Favorite
Okay. Food? Italian food.
Favorite outfit?
Tracksuit.
Favorite book?
British, Afro Hirsch.
Okay, and what's something that you've watched lately that you absolutely loved?
Oh, no time for series. Snowfall. Snowfall with Damson Idris. So good.
Amazing. I will check it out. So what message would you give to people listening who might be feeling a bit stuck or deflated and maybe just not sure how to make their dream a reality?
So when I first started out in my presenting, I just made sure that I did just one thing per day. It could be as tiny as sending an email, but just one thing that worked towards my dream. So whether that was researching, a channel that I'd want to work with, or noting down a little idea that I have for some content, emailing someone that I wanted to collaborate with, just anything to build my brand, just something that made me feel like I was moving forward each day. And then it doesn't seem too overwhelming. Like if you set yourself a really overwhelming task, like, okay, I've got to create a whole series of this and create my whole brand and whole website and do all this, it's too much. Like you need to kind of take one step at a time. Yeah, I was going to make another point, but I forgot.
But you know what? That is gold. And it's that thing of rushing. We all want to sort of sprint to the end.
Yeah,
and actually,
exactly.
it's a step-by-step thing. People look at other people following. It is. And not comparing yourself to anyone. It's not going to happen
overnight. And also the people that do make it overnight, it's not long lasting. Like you'll like that hard work really does pay off, and it might not feel like you're getting anywhere, but you just got to keep plugging away at it. They say, to be an expert in your field, you have to spend 10,000 hours doing it. So be patient and but yeah, also self-belief. Like you just need to keep like believing in yourself and speaking it into existence as well. But be careful about the baby thing, because that actually works.
Do a Pinterest board.
God, money.
I love it. Nash, where can people find you? Where's the best way to connect with you?
So I'm kind of mainly documenting my journey through Instagram. So I'm at Nush Cope on all my socials, and on YouTube I'm also documenting motherhood. It's at Nush Cope as well, and I have the series called I'm a Mum, What Now? So yeah, you can catch me there, and on Cheap Chat talking about my relationship and my serious lack of sex as well, being a mum, on Cheap Chat, which is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Global Player, kind of wherever you get your podcasts. So yeah, check it out.
Amazing. Oh, Nush, thank you so much for being on the show today. I have learned so much and feel so inspired by your journey, and thank you for sharing it with our viewers. And I hope everyone checks out Nush and continue to follow her journey. It's amazing to follow everything.
Thank you so much for having me. I honestly feel very honored to be here and speak to you guys, and yeah, best of luck. And if anyone has any questions for me, like, please feel free to get in touch, and hopefully I can help.
Amazing. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.